Presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin' Bros, kids. Coming in hot on a Tuesday, live on YouTube for now until they shut down YouTube. Whoever they is, by the way. I want to use they in air quotes, D'Anthony, because it seems like every website was shut down yesterday.
Well, in this case, it's probably the same they that hasn't taken down the deal for GhostBed. It is the reason for all this that we're being given is garden variety and competence, kind of, but it's a lot more complicated than that.
Yeah, do you believe any of it? Because here's, like, we were recording yesterday, Drinkin' Bros Sports. By the way, subscribe if you have not already to Drinkin' Bros Sports on a separate RSS feed and the YouTube channel. Quick plug for that, but we were recording that when all of this happened in the background. Ironically, YouTube didn't shut down, although we've been cut off a million times by them before.
Well, it's not ironic. The two things had nothing to do with one another.
No, but for us, because we personally have been cut off of YouTube, I don't think we've ever been stopped on Facebook or Instagram or anything else, like as far as this show goes. Some of the content we've had pulled in the past was involving like Hunter Biden and shit like that, but that was just pulled down altogether. There wasn't just an outright outage.
Well,
like this.
I mean, the New York Post had its post about Hunter Biden pulled down, so we certainly weren't unique in that regard. But I don't think this was, the reason that's being given for why all this happened, technically speaking, is correct. Like it all makes perfect sense.
And who gave this response out of Facebook?
Well, it's not just Facebook. People that work in network engineering throughout the world figured this shit out before Facebook did, I think.
Okay.
Because there are these autonomous systems throughout cyberspace, for lack of a better phrase, and there's something called a BGP, a Border Gateway Protocol, and autonomous number systems that give them an identity and a map, right? So people were able to see the traffic fluctuations immediately when Facebook went. Actually, right before Facebook went down, you started to see it, and then Facebook went down. I've seen a number of people throughout the tech media post this shit independent of Facebook and stuff. So you could tell that the way it went down is absolutely correct. Or I'm sorry, it's the way they're explaining how it went down is certainly correct. Now, whether it was intentional or not, who knows? It does seem kind of convenient that when a Facebook whistleblower comes out, that immediately a shutdown like this happens.
Yeah, so I was watching the 60 Minutes piece on Sunday night. It was right before the Bucks-Patriots game, and I thought she seemed pretty smart, pretty credible, everything else. And it wasn't like one of those weird people where, who is the chick from Georgia, Bob, who Starbrights or whatever her name was, that got popped for leaking info or whatever. It didn't seem like some like weird Antifa, like spray painted hair girl who was just out for like a vendetta of like, oh, fuck the system and everything else. It seemed like she was genuinely concerned. And then when she went back into her, she worked and everything else, she was at Google before. Yeah. She was at other huge corporations, and she goes, look.
She was the co-founder of Hinge.
Oh, was she really? Yeah. But what I found interesting in her whistleblowing conversation, if you will, is there was one key phrase that she said. It's not like the practices at some of these other social media sites have been, perfect, because they have not. And he goes, a lot of them have been wrong, but they'll usually correct it. And she goes, this is the first time I've worked for one of these companies where Facebook refused to correct it. And then when she brought up the shit from the message boards within Facebook for just the employees and the employees only, I was not aware that they had anything set up like that where employees could just go and bitch about the company.
Yeah.
Because I don't know any place, that you could go and do that, even in a small business, and bitch about your own company that you work with.
That's not news. That's been around for a long time. As a matter of fact, Facebook retaliating against people in those servers was a big story last year around this time, in the summertime, actually, I think. But it's inconvenient for Facebook for this to have happened now, if indeed it happened on the level, because honestly, that woman didn't say anything that everybody didn't already know anyways, in my opinion. I mean, is it news to anybody that Zuck and his cronies are amoral assholes who are just trying to squeeze every cent out of you, your time, and your data as possible, and they don't give two fucks if you kill yourself over it? Is that news to anybody? Because it's not news to me. That's exactly what I expect from these people.
Yeah, and it's not to me either, but I think it is for a lot of people out in the world where they're just like, all right, great, I didn't know. Because I remember when that doc came out on Netflix, was it a year and a half ago? About how addictive social media is and all that other shit, and they were going through all the sites. That was a big eye-opener for a lot of people. This is the first time someone within Facebook that was in a higher-up position actually came out and said, all right, here's what's really going on with the insurrection and everything else and blah, blah, blah.
But this to me sounds like just like another person coming forward and saying that Cuomo touched him. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, of course he did. He's he's Uncle Touchy. Like this wasn't revelatory. We didn't learn anything new. Maybe there were some suspicions that were confirmed to some degree, but you didn't learn anything new here. We know that Facebook and other social media apps have been manipulating not only the news that you see, but the way that it's massaged before it gets to you, right? Mm-hmm. We've known that this for at least a year now, if not 2 years, right? No surprise by any of that shit. But to go back to the the tech behind all this, here's the story that Facebook is giving and that the tech industry is giving. That an update to their routers, their backbone routers that coordinate all their network traffic. The update went wrong somehow. I don't think they were specific about how, but as a result, the downstream effects rippled through the system, and Facebook was effectively shut down from something like 11:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Mm-hmm. Now, as I mentioned before, it's the border gateway protocols. If you want to get technical and look this stuff up and try to figure out what it's like or what it means, it's a gateway protocol that enables the internet to exchange routing information between autonomous systems, right? So regional systems or inter-company systems, and in Facebook's case, that's one of the biggest inter-company systems that exists to allow it to connect to the World Wide Web and blah, blah, blah. And then the ASNs and are basically IP prefixes that it uses to identify all these little networks. In short, if Facebook were a self-driving vehicle, this update fucked up the GPS and the maps. So all that makes sense from a tech standpoint, from a networking standpoint. That all makes sense to me that could have happened. But it is awfully convenient, right? I mean, shit. How many times has Facebook had an outage like this, and how many times has it happened right after some kind of bad news for them? I can remember 2 instances, this being one of them, but that doesn't necessarily prove anything either.
But Facebook goes down. They also own Instagram. That goes down.
Right.
WhatsApp goes down.
The same servers.
So even though, because I always thought, like, you know, whoever started the company, like the servers would be with them. So all that shit moves on to the same servers, is what you're saying?
Yeah, and in some cases, but I mean, forget about just Facebook and Instagram and anything they might own. The way your phone and particularly your mobile device, which is where 90% of traffic happens now, but even your web browser, if it's constantly trying to connect to anything associated with Facebook, any of the servers they own for Facebook or Instagram or any other company they own, there's like timeouts, right? So it'll try for a certain, like every 15 seconds, it'll try to connect or something like that. If the entire world, 3 billion Facebook users, are trying every 15 seconds to try to connect, all the other web traffic everywhere gets affected by this, right? So that's the real question for me, is Facebook's got to look at its entire infrastructure to see where this all went wrong, and I'll talk more about that in a second. But Facebook's board and shareholders probably are not very happy. They lost $220,000 per minute that they were down. So it was somewhere in the tens of millions just from the one day. I think it's like $13 million an hour.
Jesus Christ.
So 13 million times 7. That's how much money they lost yesterday. I'm sure they're not happy, but the people that should be really pissed, in addition to people that do business on those platforms, like small businesses that operate primarily online, not only do they use Facebook as a sale, and this isn't private citizens using a privately owned company. Well, it's a publicly owned company now, but it's not private citizens using the free service. These are people that are paying for the right to use that service, both in the sales channel and in their customer service channels. That's primarily done on Facebook's platform, either on Instagram or Facebook. So they should be fucking pissed. And then everybody else whose web traffic was affected by this should also be pissed. Like you're the fucking the asshole sideways in the Suez Canal right now, fuckface.
Yeah.
You know, you got to get that shit. They bear some responsibility beyond just their shareholders at this point. And I don't know what that's going to look like, to be honest. They're a behemoth, and I'm not sure how you rein them in.
I don't either. And, you know, as I watched it yesterday go on in the background of Twitter and the thing, I thought it was hilarious that Zuckerberg actually had to go to Twitter to post that all of those apps were down yesterday. Yeah. That was his only outlet was Twitter, and then Twitter responded by saying, didn't they put up a tweet yesterday that just said, hello, everyone in the world, or something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, it was fucking hilarious.
I think Tom from MySpace said that it's time to make a comeback or some shit like that.
Did he really?
I think somebody, it could have been Photoshopped, but if he did, that would be a very Tom from MySpace thing to do. But yeah, here's what usually happens when these things work correctly. So you have an offline test environment, right? Especially for a system this big. And any update you're going to send out, you apply it to that offline test environment first to see if it fucks anything up. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm sure that it is technologically difficult and financially I'm sure it's a shit show to do this the way you would have to, which is either build the entire goddamn internet like a second version of it for testing, which you're not going to do. So what you do is you use like VMware to make virtual machines that mimic all the fucking hardware that's out there that exists. Because you can do it logically. So the problem with that is all these virtual machines that aren't real, that don't have actual engineers paying attention to them all the time, that have just been set up, if they don't have the proper firmware updates, right, in their virtual system, then if that firmware update is what banged heads with this new update, then you're not going to see that until you fucking apply it on the actual one. So they have to look at their entire infrastructure now, how they do their testing, how they do their fucking app rollouts, how they do their update rollouts. This is a really bad time to own Facebook stock, in my opinion. Yeah,
so we'll address some comments here. Wilhelm Sauer said Facebook lost $7 billion. That is including stock yesterday.
That's just
that'll
Zuckerberg.
Always, that's Zuckerberg. That'll pop back though.
Yeah.
As always, Ginger Snaps is saying if you go to
Valuetainment,
that you can find some disturbing stuff on the interview with a former Facebook moderator, which I'm sure. And then Jacob Nichols saying Facebook isn't a bunch of money grubbing assholes. They're just Italian, which I'm a big fan of that joke, Jacob. For me personally, after watching that thing and all of it going away the next day, it was way too convenient for me. I'm not typically a conspiracy guy or anything like that. But what are the chances? I mean, everybody was buckled up to watch that game between the Bucks and the Patriots.
Well, 30 million people did watch it.
They did.
By the way, Facebook's back up 6% today.
Yeah, exactly. And it always does.
6 points, excuse me.
Yeah. But that's what always happens with these. They'll go down for a little bit and up for a little bit. I don't think Zuckerberg's staring at his account like it's Coinbase, wondering if Shibu coin or what is it, Shibu? Shibu?
It's named after
Shibu.
It's named after a Shiba Inu dog, right?
Shibu
Inu.
Shibu. Yeah. So I don't think he's staring at his fucking account worrying about that type of shit because it's going to go up, it's going to go down, and then boom. Whenever he decides to get out of there, he will.
Week over week, it's down 3 points.
Yeah,
$3. I mean,
who gives a baker's fuck about that?
That's a lot for people that like him. Mm-hmm. But $7 billion is a lot for him. Yes, it's a lot for anybody. But $7 billion of his $200 billion, no one gives a fuck. You can't spend that money in a lifetime. This isn't. We need to do a new version called Spending Zuckerberg's Billions instead of Brewster's Millions, and try to figure out, spending $30 million in a couple of days. You fucking kidding me? I could do that today. I could spend $30 million in one day right
100%,
now.
yes.
Easy.
Yes.
But could I spend $200 billion in that time frame? Probably not. Because to buy something large enough to spend a big chunk on, there's a whole contract process you have to go through.
Oh, yeah,
shit.
the lawyers.
Like, you couldn't just go buy a fucking football team or some shit. It would take you time to do any of that stuff.
Take time, and they got to approve you.
Within 30 days, I would like to see somebody try to spend $100 billion.
Exactly.
That'd be a great fucking TV show.
Yeah.
And Facebook stock has already bounced back. What I'm seeing is the world now knows that they're vulnerable. That's not a good thing. You see it in foreign policy right now. The world now knows the United States is vulnerable because we have a senile president and a vice president no one's seen in fucking 6 months, right? That are fucking pulling out of wars all weird. Our generals are pussies. Like, people know we're vulnerable. It's not good.
Yeah, I look at all this shit, and I look at the ratings too of, again, that game, and I know that's a fucking Hollywood aspect to look at it, but the ratings for 60 Minutes were through the fucking roof last night. I think they shut down all this shit on purpose the next day.
Maybe.
And look, I also think there's nothing we can do about it, because then what I did late last night before we did the show today was I was looking in the comments and the feedback on Facebook. This second it came back up, people returned to normal like nothing had happened, and they're not going to say anything. They're not going to do anything. No one really fucking cares. Now, for me personally, because I thought about me and my own family's use, again, because I knew we were going to do the show today, and I was talking to Jessie. Jessie, my wife, did not even know that Facebook and Instagram were down. That's how little she uses social media. And when I told her when I got home, I was like, hey, that's a crazy day. Facebook and all Instagram and all that were down. She goes, what? Were they? I was like, did you not look at anything? She goes, I never really do. So it doesn't matter to someone like her. And then I thought about us and how it would affect our business. One time throughout yesterday did it, where we were doing a sports show. We typically take the link, copy and paste it, and then put it into Drinkin' Bros Sports on Facebook, which is a private group, right? Hey, everybody, you can watch, listen, comment, do whatever you want. That was the only time that I was affected by it throughout the day. However, it is a way that we push out promotional material for each show, the guests, clips, and everything else. And yes, it would suck for our business if Facebook went away. Me as a person, it would not suck because I don't really use it that much. And, I don't know. I'd usually turn it over to somebody else to fucking post shit. But
Yeah.
I'll write weird words or pictures or whatever. But, me as a person, if all of this, if every piece of social media is shut down, I enjoy talking to people anyways or texting them. So I don't really fucking need it. How much are you on there?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a lurker. I don't actually want to talk to anybody, even in my real life. So I damn sure don't want to do it where it requires effort.
Yeah, typing and shit like
Fuck
that.
that.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of reading, though. I like to. I use it for its intended purpose, I think, which is to learn new shit that I didn't know before. Mm-hmm. Right?
Same.
New playlists or new books or new movies or fucking
music,
new trends, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to fucking categorize the usefulness of interconnectivity that the internet is. But I'm not too interested in waving my arms around, flailing my arms around in the air, desperate for attention. So, and I think that's kind of where we've gone with all this.
Same, and like I don't really care about the social media aspect of it. Matter of fact, like as soon as this is all over, whenever the end date is for Drinkin' Bros or Ross Patch Revolution, all that other shit, I'm just going to pull the plug on all of it, and then let my kids take over. Of like, great, whatever you guys want to do, have fun.
Chris Beerworth makes a good point here. XNXX was still going strong. I wonder. Usually, when you see weird shit. Like a canceled event or when the pandemic started, not that it was an actual pandemic because that's nonsense, but when certain sites go down or something like that, Pornhub usually gets a spike in traffic, a big one. I wonder if there was one yesterday in the middle of the day. Like where people at work and they just like couldn't do their job because their job is primarily social media, so they went into the toilet, turned on their fucking Pornhub on their phone and blasted off.
Yeah, maybe. What? Forgive me. I don't know.
How many women walked into their restroom, smashed the plunger into the wall, like just stuck it onto the wall and rode that thing until it was a toothpick?
Probably none or two.
I would say it's either one of those.
Yeah, I'd say 0
Bob,
or 2.
can you look that up?
Yeah, you see, just plunger into the wall, and then how many women? Yes, I'm kidding, but Forgive me for what is XNXX? I don't know what that means.
It's another porn site, I think.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Look, we're all looking for that. Can we not just give out the name
I'm
of the
a
full
Pornhub
site?
guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know
Tried and true.
XNXX. Is it supposed to be like NXS or some shit? It just doesn't make any sense.
I'm so lazy that I can't search for all that shit. So it's either Pornhub or X videos. If one of those goes down, then there's nothing. There's nothing that exists in the world to me.
I've still got some old like trading cards that have the 3D thing on it. So
There was a funny one yesterday where somebody was like, "Yeah, you ever go through an ex-girlfriend's email and just try to guess the old password, just in case, right?" And I was like, "Eh."
I save all the pictures. I put them all on the internet on onlyfeet.com. I only take pictures of people's feet. So
Yeah, but as I watched the world burn yesterday, I thought to myself, I was like, "Shit." There was a moment where I was like, "I wonder if this is it." Like, and will there ever be a moment? And could Zuckerberg really do that? Would that be the ultimate last power flex on the planet if you pulled? Because, dude, thinking about it, there's 6 big sites, right, social media wise. He owns 3 of the 6. What if you just said "fuck you" to the world and just pulled the plug on all of it on
everyone
Facebook,
would just go to the other ones.
WhatsApp or Instagram? You think they would just go to
Yeah.
Twitter?
Yes. Yep. People are addicted. They're addicted to the instant gratification. They're addicted to living vicariously through other people's lives. That's why nobody wants to fuck. Like, it's not just people who are hooked on the free money from the governments or whatever the fuck that aren't going back to work. People are addicted to this gratification shit in a big way. Like they need it. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, and speaking of which, like my kids, before they go to bed, we'll usually watch like some 8:00 show that's on or whatever. And last night it was The Voice. So The Voice was on, and they wanted to watch it. And I'm sitting with them, and they'll usually go through the singers' like backstories. 3 of them in like a 1-hour program had said, I had gotten an eating disorder or, bullied online from social media, and then I overcame that by singing or whatever, and it was like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, that to me is not... Here's what I want awards for. Let's stop rewarding people for coming out of rehab and start rewarding people who didn't go there in the fucking first place. Can we do that? Because I'm not too impressed with you going to rehab, frankly. Like, I'm glad it's there and exists for people that need it, but that's, come on, man. We've all got the same access to drugs and alcohol. Be an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we gave Amy Winehouse a Grammy.
Well, she deserved it. She was great.
For not going to rehab.
She was great. That was a great song. She hit it at the right time. Really, when it's the perfect timing like that, congratulations. You just fucking nailed it, dude. R.I.P. Amy. Little tiny body on Amy, by the way. A very little tiny person. Drank an entire bottle of Jack Daniels after going sober, and then
here's the thing with the sobriety bullshit. You just it's like replacement words. It's like Christians and Mormons saying, dang it. You know what I mean? You're still, you have the same bullshit happening in your head. You're thinking the same word in your head, you're saying a different word. You're just translating one vice into something that's a little more palatable for everybody else. So all you really need to do, instead of going to rehab and being sober or whatever, just find whatever drug it is that you can do and maintain your normal day-to-day life. There's one out there for you, I promise.
Yeah.
Because if something is so powerful in your life that you can't even go near it without collapsing entirely, then it still controls you whether you're doing it or not. And isn't it a whole lot more fun to wake up blacked out than it is to wake up fucking sober and be like, 12 more years of this and I can just die. What was that fucking the reverse rehab? Remember that shit from 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I'm still in on reverse rehab. I'm going to start grabbing people out of rehab like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I'm going to have a big Indian dude throw a fucking water thing through the wall. Yeah. And I'm going to start grabbing those people and taking them to crack dens all over the city.
It's funny. Jared a couple of days ago was talking to me about being sober, and he was like, "Oh man, I'm so clear-headed and I can think." And I was like, "Why? Yeah, why do you want to be that clear-headed? I don't want to think like that."
Yeah. Yeah,
and I'll never be a blackout drunk guy. I get kids, so it's not like I can do that either. But there's a happy medium, and if you can't stop yourself,
I guess I've never really had too much of an addictive personality, but some drugs you can't help. Like I would imagine probably half the military, at least in the combat arms section, has been addicted to Percocet at some point during their life, right?
Yeah.
For some kind of injury they've had. But that shit's not real. The addiction part is just your brain telling you some bullshit. My brain tells me dumb bullshit. It told me to say all this.
Yeah.
Right? Which was not a great idea. So your brain does stupid shit all the time. You control your fucking brain. Your brain does not control you. So this is my plan, reverse rehab, all that shit. Fucking find the one thing that you can do every day and be a dick about it. Tell people to go fuck themselves because it's your life and you only get one of them. Fuck them. And do that thing. That's why. And whenever you die, you should be the happiest and fattest and drunkest and highest that you've ever been in your life.
I agree. My kid gets these books of who was X, right? And it's all celebrities and everything else. So he loves reading them. They're like little history books, right? And it just kind of condenses who these people were. One that came in the mail was who was Elvis Presley, and I was like, oh shit. I started leafing through it before he did, and I was like, does it tell like a 7-year-old how they died? Because on the outside it says, ages 7 to 12 or whatever it is. And I was like, does this tell a 7-year-old how they died? And it did.
It'd be funny if it was just
for
a
real.
picture of him on the toilet.
It is.
One.
Swear to God. So I opened it up and he goes, Dad, did Elvis really die on the toilet? And I was like, yes. Is that in there? Like I was shocked because it is literally from 7 to 10.
You're not doing anybody any favors by lying to them, and you're not doing yourself any favors if you feel so strongly compelled to do something, whether it's a drug or be with some crazy bitch or something like that. That is something that you need to address right the fuck now. And I'm not talking about rehab. Rehab teaches you to. I mean, some of that stuff is useful for sure, but it doesn't. This appealing to a higher power bullshit. Are you fucking kidding me? That's your fucking plan is to pray about it? Get fucked, man. That doesn't make any sense. If something has that kind of effect on you, you need to address that shit right goddamn now.
Yeah, and I agree, man. Like, so when I was going through that book, I was like, and I had a conversation with him. He's 7 years old, and I was like, oh, well, shit. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're learning about everything now, and if it's in here, then we can talk about it. Bob, real quick here, because I'm gonna get to the sponsors. Will you pull up that book? It's on Amazon. It's called "Who Was Elvis Presley?"
It's hilarious.
Dead serious. And they have a cartoon picture of him on the toilets, on the death page.
I'm gonna start buying that for other people's kids.
Yeah, go to Amazon directly because that's where I got. Oh, there it is, right there.
Then sign it.
Yeah, exactly.
As Elvis. There's a reason Dope and Hope rhyme, by the way.
Yeah, so this is the book right here, and inside they've got him slumped over on the toilet, like on the death page, and I was like, oh shit. Now the cause of death was incorrect because they said he'd taken a bunch of sleeping pills, but
what did they say it was?
No, that's what they said in the book, but really it was because he was on so many opioids he just couldn't shit, and his bowels fucking.
Yeah.
He nuked out.
He got
toilet.
a Golgothan shit demon stuck up inside him.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the scientific explanation for that.
Yeah. But it really went into great detail of like the sleeping pills and everything else. And at the top of the book, it clearly says the ages 7 to 12.
This is the problem with like fucking that old shit Reefer Madness from the 50s, that government propaganda film about weed, which is absolute nonsense. There are plenty of stories about vices, whatever they happen to be, women, booze, drugs, that are good enough warning tales on their own without having to make shit up.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to be in the 27 Club, for example.
No. And I guess the younger you can learn about it, the better. I mean, shit. I don't know when my parents told me about that shit, but...
Wilhelm Sowers asked if I'm an atheist. I don't think that's a word that should exist. Atheist.
Explain that.
There's no word for people that don't believe Elvis is still alive, for example.
Right.
Because people don't assume that to be true. So if you don't assume that there's a God, then there's no word atheist. Like you believe in it and I don't, and those are just two different things.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you were an atheist.
No,
You're just a science guy.
I don't care. There's no, if you show me some kind of evidence for that shit, but you're not going to be able to.
That's what
so
I mean. For you, it's like a scientific evidence type of guy, and you would rather have that conversation versus guessing at whatever's up there. You don't have to guess what's in your bedroom, though. When you go to ghostbed.com/drinking bros, the guessing game's thrown out the window. It's going to be the finest goddamn mattress you've ever had in your entire life in that one. Did we get an email about the bear? Did you get that email about the bear, Bob? From Ghost Bed? So I think there's like a hidden fucking 40% off sale somewhere in there.
I think they're still just doing that.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Where is it? Where is it listed? I just ordered something from that. I only use the fucking 30%
It's
off.
still just the bundle. It's the bundle situation.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying earlier. That dude's dead.
Yeah, the guy,
So
the
it's the
guy that's in
same-
IT there's got to be dead.
The
Yes.
same guy doing IT for GhostBed is doing IT for fucking Facebook, obviously.
He's got to be dead.
Why is he having to work 2 jobs, though? That's the real question.
It's going to be a real deep irony that GhostBed's going to go out of business because they're giving away all their mattresses, and then they'll have to learn to code. When if they had just learned to code, they wouldn't have gone out of business.
I think
Sure,
there.
yeah.
Well, you and I had dinner with the guy. I think there's just only one guy that's in their IT department there. Whatever, man. If he did it, he did it. He left it up 40% off the bundle packages. Fuck them. Take advantage of it. Nothing they can do about it legally. So sorry, Ghostbed, that your IT guy is dead. And I think he's from Wisconsin, right? Yeah, he's dead in Wisconsin. Who cares?
Oh, is he dead in Wisconsin? Shit.
We went to dinner with him at Loro.
There's worse places to be dead, to be honest. Wisconsin has some of the most fertile soil in all of America.
Yeah.
So at least he's contributing to the cows and fucking whatever the fuck.
And
they
Mother
grow up
Earth,
there.
dude. So go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin' Bros today. That bundle package that's 40% off right now is the mattresses and the adjustable base, and then you can put whatever you want with it, like pillows, sheets, mattresses, all that shit. But dude, if Homeboy still left it up, fuck it, take advantage of it, or just use the promo code Drinkin' Bros at checkout for 30% off, like individual items. And then when you check out, there's a 36-month pay-as-you-go program if you're interested in that. It's got no interest on it. If you have decent credits, and you can couple all of those deals I just said together with that and walk out of there with a beautiful bedroom set for $35 to $38 a month. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin' Bros today and take advantage of the dead IT guy. Next up, we got HelloFresh.com. I'm going home to this tonight. This is an easy one because I eat this 5 nights a week. Jesse should be making this as we speak tonight. But yeah, HelloFresh, dude. This is a crazy deal, too. Like, I don't know how these guys are making fucking money off of this shit, but it's not my problem. HelloFresh.com/DrinkinBros14. If you use that code DrinkinBros14, you're going to get up to 14 free meals, including free shipping. Basically, what they're doing is just giving you 2 weeks worth of food for free because they know that you'll be hooked on it after that. I didn't get this. I just actually bought it online. I think I saw like a Facebook ad years ago or whatever it was. And we ended up reaching out to them personally and saying, hey, dude, I eat HelloFresh like 4 or 5 days a week. Can we just get a fucking promo code for the audience? And they said yes. So we did it. Then they started giving away 14 meals. I'm already signed up. I didn't get the 14 free meals. It's fucking bullshit.
Well,
either way.
maybe you should go work in their IT
I
department.
know. Fuck, dude. They're doing it right. Either way, they just send you like fresh ingredients to the house. It shows up in like a box. It's cool. I didn't even have to look at the copy for this one. It's so easy. I literally have been having this for years, but it shows up to the house. Ours showed up this morning at like, I don't know, 9 a.m. Pop it in the fridge. You're good to go. And it comes with like a little card. All of the ingredients, you cook it up. It's fresh. It's probably the freshest food I've ever had. And I've been doing meal prep type stuff for years and years. And this one has lasted for like 2 years. I love it. Just go to HelloFresh.com/DrinkinBros14 and use the code DrinkinBros14 for up to 14 free meals, including free shipping. That is HelloFresh.com/DrinkinBros14 and use the code DrinkinBros14 for up to 14 free meals, including free shipping. America's #1 meal kits.
I have to keep like switching identities to keep taking advantage of this because I've been using them since 2018. Right?
Yeah.
One of the steak and potatoes and green bean with gravy meal, I've eaten that probably 10,000 times over the last 4 years.
The pork chops, I've had.
God damn it. It drives me
even-
crazy. I mean, it's of the meals that come like that, I think they're the best.
Same.
I've used pretty much all of them. I nerd out on shit like that. I'll use like 4 or 5 different ones over the course of 3 months.
You and I did. Remember we had a bunch shipped to
Yeah.
the office. And then last but not least, I'll just give them a shout out because they're here. You hear them at the top of the show. Cardomax.com. That is cardomax.com. Use the promo code DB for 30% off your next 4 orders. I'm drinking it now. I'm actually got the immunity booster this afternoon because I get all jacked up on their energy intensifier today. You'll see it. It's always on the desk here. This is the blue raspberry and the pink lemonade. Gigantic fan of cardomax.com. That is cardomax.com. Promo code DB for 30% off your next 4 orders. Old school Drinkin' Bro, Sean Matson. It's his new company. Homie, lover, friend, former Navy SEAL. And it is a veteran-owned company, so support. Promo code DB at cardomax.com. 30% off your next 4 orders. That'll get you jacked up in the morning. And then the immunity booster I'm just taking now, and I really like it. Shout out to Sean, dude. This is fucking great. Congratulations on the new company. D'Anthony, one other thing here that was super curious as far as the interwebs go from yesterday was we did a show yesterday with Sean Stone, Oliver Stone's son. I did not know him from Hollywood or anything like that. It was a guest pitched to us, and
I mean, he's been in a lot of his dad's flicks, but he's not like the standout character or anything in any of that stuff.
Right. And the fascinating thing about him was he really didn't call to promote or anything or like anything else. He was just like, I think your show is great. You guys talk about whatever you want all the time, and I think you'd be open to any type of conversation or whatever. I'm like, yeah, dude, come on. We don't really give a shit. YouTube does not really pay for our bills or anything like that. And we're shadow banned on most of it. And
we've got 90,000 subscribers and 650 people or so are watching this.
Yeah, which should tell you what that is. And that doesn't even equal like the millions of audio listeners and all that shit. Like, it's weird, whatever. And I was like, all right, well, how can it be weirder? When the Sean Stone interview went live last night, there was a Wikipedia. I don't know if you can screenshot it, Bob, or pull it up, but there was a Wikipedia
it's
link.
on my Instagram if you want to pull that up.
Oh, yeah. Pull up, what are you, at Dan Holloway on Instagram?
I don't know. It's been gone for so long, I forgot.
Follow Dan on Instagram. But on there, they added a thing to our video that just said the topic they are talking about. There it is right there. So the name of this last night's show was The New World Order with Sean Stone, and underneath it has a huge context box. I mean, look at how fucking big that is. The New World Order is a conspiracy theory which hypothesizes a secretly emerging totalitarian world government. And it's Wikipedia. It's a link to Wikipedia. Dan, I was unfamiliar that Wikipedia was an actual verifiable source that people used to fact check.
Yeah, I used a lot of resources in my 9,000 years of college and in high school, obviously, as well. And not at any point was it acceptable to use Wikipedia as a fucking resource. But somehow Google has added Wikipedia to its list of fact-checking resources, even though any asshole can go change shit right now on Wikipedia.
Yeah. And which they did, by the way. So if you go to mine, somebody put that I was born in 1921 and that I'm currently 100 years old, which is true. I'm like a vampire. But that they did it as a point for yesterday's show, and they was one of our listeners, and he DM'd me, and he goes, look, man, I can change your Wikipedia right now. And he did. So Bob, pop it up. Just go to Ross Patterson Wikipedia. First of all, I didn't start the Wikipedia page. I don't even know who does that. And it's poorly put together, whoever did do it. So fuck off. And I don't really care if you want to add shit. I think it's hilarious. Does it still say I was born in 1921?
No, it says 1997.
Oh, 97 now. Yeah. Somebody changed it.
That's what
I'm 24, baby.
Yeah. So that doesn't have any real effect on reality. You still have heart disease and diabetes, right? And you'll have ass cancer sometime in the near future because you're 65 years old.
Yeah.
The internet is Wikipedia especially is not a fucking fact check. Are you fucking kidding me?
Nah, Ross is 24. Let's start partying
24,
again.
Dude. We're good to go, brother.
Giorgio, I'm gonna pistol whip you.
Oh, it's great. We're heading out of the fucking festival.
This shit shouldn't be surprising. I mean, USA Today's lost their fucking minds with the fact checking stuff. They will narrowly interpret someone's statement and then put a tag on it that says it's missing context. Like, no, you changed the goal, you moved the goalpost. So yeah, there's now missing context. This isn't even the worst. The worst is what we talked about the other day. which is Merriam-Webster, changing the definition of anti-vax
to
include somebody that is anti-mandate.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me, man?
Wikipedia, though, as a source, clearly we just proved that.
I think we should
10 seconds. We should definitely not believe Wikipedia.
No, we should sue every public university that we all went to for not letting us use Wikipedia as a resource. Because if the biggest company on earth can use it, then I should be able to as well.
So you're saying I shouldn't pay back my student loans?
You shouldn't pay back your student loans under any circumstances.
Yeah, just keep running, Giorgio. You know who doesn't have them is that Brian Laundrie's guy. Because if he did, they would have fucking found that motherfucker.
Yeah, they found Bin Laden, but his loans were already paid because his family's rich.
No, but with his Wikipedia shit, man, fuck, dude, are we there? And here's a fucking full disclosure. And this might make me look stupid, and I don't really give a shit. I didn't know that the New World Order was a conspiracy. I thought it was just a wrestling thing, in the 90s. But whatever, man, NWO. I did not, for real, I'm being totally dead serious when I say this.
It's whatever Alex Jones calls the globalist, right? And I think people like Sean and Alex Jones and folks like that seem to think that it's more of a cabal, a little bit more organized. I think it's just I think it's more like unwritten rules. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you let certain things slide because you don't want to fuck up the institution itself. We talked about it on the show, so if you're curious about our thoughts on that whole thing, go watch that show with Sean Stone. But I think it's probably more likely that rich and powerful assholes are just doing what rich and powerful assholes have always done, right? Which is use all of their wealth and power to amass more wealth and power. And if you pop the bubble, if you move the fucking curtain away and show Oz behind the fucking curtain, then you're exposing all of you, not just yourself and not just them or anybody else. So you can't expose somebody else because you expose yourself as well. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Which is a lot more dangerous, by the way, because it's not a fucking singular, centralized enemy you can fight against. Now it's like a confluence of human stupidity and greed. And those two things run deeper in humanity than any other two things. So good fucking luck.
Yeah, Giorgio, were you about to say something? It sounded like somebody was gagging back there.
Yeah, he was just gagging for fun.
I was
going to make a Kevin Nash reference, but then I assumed Dan would actually pistol whip me.
I'm a big fan of Kevin Nash.
And the NWO. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that him and Razor Ramon were not involved in this whatsoever.
There it is.
What was Razor Ramon's name before when he was in WWE first with another name?
Edge?
Very sharp Ramon.
No, Edge is not
the
same guy. Was it? Hold on. Razor Ramon.
Either way,
Scott
with
Hall.
Fats.
Yeah, he was right. Razor Ramon in WWE, became Scott Hall in WWE, or in WCW rather.
Because they own your name,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, so he just went back to his other name, but he still had the Jerry curl in the front.
And the toothpick.
Which I think maybe his real name is Scott Oliver Hall, so that doesn't sound like a Ramon to me. He'd probably get canceled now, right?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Because I don't know if you saw this in the news, but two weather guys are two dudes that work at like a local fucking TV station. They did a 70s themed broadcast, and they wore like afros from the 70s that you could buy at the Party City down the road.
Yeah.
And they all got fired.
Yes.
Because they were white. They were old white dudes.
Yeah.
My dad had a fucking afro.
Yeah.
The Bee Gees all had fucking afros. Are you kidding me?
The one that's actually picked out on the Ross Patterson Revolution cover is actually you can put that up. That is actually my hair. Somebody wrote in why are these people wearing afros? That was actually my hair from that perm bet that I lost, and I had combed it out. We were doing like a Bob Dylan joke because I looked like that Bob Dylan perm from the 60s. But that was actually that's my real hair on
now,
that.
Ross, you're really clean cut right now, but when we were in Wilmington, you had a salad.
I did. Yeah.
Have you thought about growing that back out?
No, because it's just too hard to maintain.
Rob, I don't know what you're pulling up.
This is the weatherman who got fired yesterday. There you go. So
Wacky Steve got a little too wacky.
suspended.
Like
fired.
He's clearly no one in their right mind would do that in an attempt to imitate a black person in 2021. He was clearly thinking about some white dude he had seen with an afro when he grew up in the fucking 70s. Maybe it was his dad. Who knows? The fucking Brady Bunch guy had Greg, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
Greg
Williams.
He had fucking an afro for the first like 5 seasons of that show, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? How do you get fired for that? Although the guy, if you go back to that, the guy in the lower right-hand corner of that picture, he looks like he might be the devil. I don't know what's going on with him.
Well, he got fired for that.
Yeah, they're all, the other 2 only got suspended. He got fired because he was actually wearing a Klan robe or something. I don't know. This is a comedy show, so that's not real, but he looks, look at that guy. There's something fucked with that guy for
That
sure.
guy asked me to sit on his lap.
I bet
The other
he
2
did.
dudes look like they're fucking happy-go-lucky dudes. That dude's like, we're taking over some shit today, brothers.
Yeah.
He's like that one guy that shows up at the party, like everybody's fucking hanging out and making jokes, and he's like, yeah, fucking Mexicans, right? Like, whoa, dude.
Whoa.
Take it easy. He's kind of Mexican.
Kind of Mexican. But Giorgio, to answer your question, yeah, I think for Christmas, because I want to do like just a super drunk Christmas special where it's just songs for like an hour as that character from, I think you shot the last one last year.
Yeah.
In Wilmington, yeah. I'd like to do that, so I'll probably grow it out for that and a mustache for that and do like some type of telethon.
Where we drink eggnog and eat sausage.
100%, yes.
Hog and nog.
Correct. It's a hog and nog night, and it's sausage, eggnog, and then obviously at that point we might be at 100,000 subscribers, which will put the Pappy Van Winkle in the eggnog. I don't know how many people that would anger, but
There's nothing more fun than disrespecting expensive alcohol.
Fauci.
oh, that fucking guy, dude. Speaking of Christmas, are we doing the Christmas show for Fauci? Because there's no more Christmas, right? He's taking away Christmas. He doesn't know if we're going to be able to go. He said maybe outside.
We've got a new shirt that's coming out in the next week or 2, and it's Fauci as the Grinch, and it says the Grinch who stole freedom.
Yeah.
Right? Because that guy's a real cunt.
And by the way, if you think we're joking, we are not. I saw the sketch outline for it this morning. Our artist is on that as we speak. And when I saw that bullshit from Fauci, I lost my fucking mind, dude.
Yep.
Hey, guys, I think it's we're still not out of the woods yet. If I hear that fucking phrase one more time from one of these assholes.
Yeah. Even though, I mean, even New York Times had to release this information yesterday that we're like 3 months on the downslope. Cases are pretty much gone. We'll see some kind of spike in the regular flu season in colder areas where more viral activity happens and where people have been shut in, not exposed to shit for this whole time. Luckily, we fired half of our fucking healthcare workers, so that should be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got that one coming out. We got Biden in clown makeup. And
Yep.
it just says, here's the deal.
Yeah.
And a little dialogue bubble. And then we have one that says, mandate this dick.
Yeah.
And the I in dick is...
I really
It's a
want
dick.
that one.
Yeah, that
It's
one's
a dick.
that one's going to be a top seller for sure. The Fauci one is the one that I'm going to be wearing most of the
How is
holiday
that guy
season.
still in fucking charge? And
I
look,
don't know.
I understand a lot of people were really happy with a lot of the things that Donald Trump did. His foreign policy, while, uncouth in a lot of ways, was effective. 5 peace deals between Arab countries and Israel. We had China on its heels, Russia on its heels, so on and so forth. A lot of things are going well there. We had a deal with these Taliban retards to pull out of there and leave them to their own devices and blah, blah, blah. Although I thought it was kind of a shitty deal. But he did a lot of cool stuff. Record low unemployment for black and brown people, blah, blah, blah. Did a lot of great shit. You know what he didn't do is stop these fucking bureaucrat assholes that are unelected from shutting down our entire economy.
Mm-hmm.
Trump didn't fucking do a goddamn thing to stop that. So say whatever you want to about him, but he didn't do shit.
I will say this: it was right before. I mean, you're in the election. When it was that March when they started shutting everything down in 2020, and because I look back at it now and I was like, Trump wanted to fire that fucking guy, and then he got stuck with him. Now
He didn't get stuck with him. He was the president of the United States. He can tell that guy to go fuck himself and jump off a cliff whenever he feels like it, and he chose not to because he wanted to get reelected. He made it about him, not about the country. So fuck that guy.
Well, let me ask you this: could Biden have rehired him had he had been fired?
Sure, you can. I mean, that would have been a great moral victory for the Democrats to bring him back and shut everything down again.
Because don't you feel like they're stuck with him now? Because if they fire him now, it's essentially admitting Trump.
No, they should have fired him as soon as they got in and said that was Trump's guy. Here's our new person. That's what they should have done. That would have made a lot more sense.
But that fucker's been there for
Since 83.
I was gonna say 5, 6 presidents now. So he's trying to fucking hang on, dude, and do whatever. I don't understand why. He has plenty of money, and what is that guy? 83 years old. How old is Fauci?
He doesn't care about money at this point. He cares about fucking eyeballs on him. That's what I'm talking about with the social media culture. Everybody's addicted to the.
He's 80.
Yeah.
He's 80 years old. Jesus
Everybody's
Christ.
addicted to the attention now.
Yeah, including him. He won't get off the fucking networks. It's not like he's doing White House briefings. I mean, he's doing like The View and The Talk and all that other bullshit.
Look, Fauci was the guy. Fauci's the reason that fucking gay people were getting bashed in public in the 1980s because and a thing that he's done recently again, falsified information about fucking how AIDS spreads and shit like that to drum up fear so he could be a focal point. And now he's done it again. They've lied constantly. Not only did they lie about the effects of all this shit, he was involved in the goddamn creation in the first place, right? So this is a guy that needs the spotlight on him at all times. And he's like, well, we'll do this crazy research, and what's the worst that can happen? Everybody's going to depend on me for a solution. Oops.
Yeah.
Right? He is a fucking sociopath, and he should be fired into the sun.
Yeah.
Directly into it.
By the way, his birthday is Christmas.
Is it really?
Well, he is the Grinch then, for sure.
No
you guys are
fucking
really
way.
It's Christmas
dude.
Eve, but yeah, December 24th.
Close enough, dude.
I think that counts as great. Christmas is 2 days in my house.
It is in mine as well.
Elijah Hill's saying that Fauci was also born in 97, so I don't know.
Yeah, we're the same age. At 4 p.m. on Christmas Eve is when I really start Christmas, Bob. I'm very specific about 4 p.m. That's when
Sun's
I usually
going down.
Yes,
pouring
yes.
the Pappy Van Winkle into the eggnog.
Yeah, dog, and that's when Christmas starts for me.
If any one of you assholes pours Pappy Van Winkle into eggnog, then I will injure you. I promise you that.
Maybe that'll be my drink then, because we've got to figure out how to drink the wink.
Yeah, we gotta.
Yeah, you just drink it on its own.
No, you don't.
That's how
You
it comes out of
celebrate.
the fucking bottle.
But it tastes weird.
Yeah, you celebrate like a lady. For those of you who don't know, there was a listener who sent in a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle.
I'm not sure who it was.
Are you for real?
I have no idea who it was.
I don't either. And there was no return address or name or anything. It is unopened. It is verified. It is real. And what we said was, because we're at 91,000 subscribers, once we hit 100, because of all the bullshit we've gone through over the years with YouTube, and we're going to drink this bottle live on air and have mixed drinks with it. The only person who was not in was Stanthony. You're not going to do it.
No, I will not mix $3,000 booze with fucking
To be fair,
Diet
yeah,
Coke.
this is like using the Stanley Cup. Like some listeners like, hey, man, you get the Stanley Cup for a day, and then we all just use it as a toilet for some reason.
Mix it with some Killcliff, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Oof, that Flamin' Joe. Would that do it? Is that the flavor you use?
Maybe.
I wonder. I would have to think about that. I think I might go ginger.
There's a great fruit punch flavor. Fruit punch and whiskey, really underrated combo.
That's old school. That's like fucking buy a trough shit and just dump it all in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mix it with an old wooden boat oar until you get the right concoction for everyone to enjoy. But that Pappy will be drank. I don't know if the YouTube opened up or whatever, but we're only 9,000 away subscriber wise. So that'll be quite the day here. I've had
just say fruit punch and whiskey?
Yeah. Well, fruit punch and Pappy Van Winkle.
That's racist.
Yeah.
So good.
Fruit punch and Pappy is that's going to be the new wintertime drink for anybody who can find it, which no one can find that fucking shit. There was a guy by my house out in Dripping Springs who got fucking rocked and stole a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle from the bar. There's a whiskey place, Bob, on the way up there. It's up by 12. I forget the name of it. Like something basic, whatever the fucking name of it is. Small place, but they have every fucking whiskey in the book. And dude, somebody stole a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle. The guy, I guess, got blackout drunk and left it in his car, passed out. And somebody from the county found him and then just returned it to the bar. So he did not get away with it.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's kind of a felony, isn't it?
For that much, I wondered, because there is no price value on that bottle. Like, if you were just to find it at a liquor store, D'Anthony, how much is a bottle? Like, if it was just retail normal price?
For the shit that got sent here, I don't know, probably like $3,000, something like that.
No shit. Because I heard a rumor about it that it would just show up at stores like 2 bottles at a time, and if you got it, you got it.
Yeah, Pappy Van Winkle. So, I mean, there's a couple different ages, right?
Okay.
Pappy Van Winkle 10-year bourbon is $1,099,
15, 27.99.
and the 23 is $5,000.
Okay. I don't know which one we have, but whatever, man. It's expensive. Yeah. Oh, it's the 10-year. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
what, $1,500? All right.
Something like that.
So we don't feel
Yeah, I
that
don't,
bad.
I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna cry
we can
over
mix
mixing
that with we can mix that with some eggnog, and really get loose. Because if the numbers go the way they are, this will be right around Christmas, maybe even Christmas Eve.
It doesn't really matter how much it costs. It's good booze, and you're not mixing it with weird shit.
You can't stop our fun. You
I
can't
can-
Fauci our fun, dude.
I can stop it. Stop all of this.
You will not Fauci our fun today, Dan. I'm sorry. I want to ask you about this $1 trillion coin, by the way.
I don't understand any of this.
I
to be
don't
honest.
either. And the federal government is saying they're going to have a $1 trillion coin. The Treasury plans an emergency $1 trillion coin. This was in Axios today. And I don't know if it's a fake picture or a real, but the $1 trillion platinum coin could be minted at the last minute. And it could be minted within hours of the Treasury Secretary's decision to do so, says a former director of the United States Mint. Why it matters, congressional solutions to the debt ceiling problem could take weeks to implement, especially if the reconciliation process is used and time is running out. In case of emergency, a $1 trillion coin could be deployed to bridge any gap between the money running out and the debt ceiling being raised.
Yeah, it's retarded.
It's crazy, right?
I mean, it's like, hey, you owe me $50, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, but I need 75. Can you give me another 25? You're like, no, your debt ceiling's cut off, and I just draw $25 on a fucking piece of paper.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. That is going to cause massive inflation.
If something were to happen like that, I don't know if any. It's so hard to tell what the fuck is real and what's not real anymore. Why wouldn't they just have some kind of cryptocurrency? The government.
I don't know. I mean, the government's incompetent, so I'm sure whatever they're doing it for somehow to suck their own dick. So it's our GDP is 21 trillion, right? Mm-hmm. So 1/21st of that we're just making up out of thin air.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Hey,
I mean,
guys.
that's instant inflation.
Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And there is a picture of it here. And I don't know if this is real or if it's not real, but it certainly is fucking hilarious. It looks like a quarter or maybe a $50. Again, I'm hoping somebody made this up and this isn't a real goddamn thing.
No,
all
it's real. It's on Axios. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. They make shit up all the time, but this is it's a could kind of thing, and the only resource or the only source.
Look at that. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should just put a fucking the eagle should be blowing its brains out right there. that would be a more appropriate logo for that coin.
I want to be able to go to like the aquarium.
Yeah.
And just shove it into one of those machines that like stretch it out and print the aquarium logo onto the coin.
That'd be great. What if you let's say you dropped it and somebody else picked it up? Do they get $1 trillion?
It goes down the gutter.
Yeah, how does that work?
It's like a bearer bond. I mean, hey man, this is finders keepers.
Yes, right? Like is that what it is? Because shit, man. I found, a couple bucks on the side of the road. What are they? Somebody going to dispute it? No, that's my money. That would be the craziest shit of all time.
Why don't we just take the members of Congress and Senate and try to sell them to other countries and get $1 trillion that way?
It'd be great.
I doubt anybody's going to want to pay for a bunch of fucking geriatric cunts, though. Right? Not a premium, anyways. Or maybe we could just, instead of them trying to pass bills that take all of our money, we'll just take all of their fucking money and then burn them in a fucking volcano or some shit, like old school style. Mm-hmm. Didn't that volcano in Hawaii just erupt? We could throw some
There's
people
one in
down.
Iceland popping off too.
Right now?
Fuck Iceland. All Iceland does is pop up smoke and bullshit and fuck up air travel. I want a real volcano that we could throw virgins into, goddammit.
They've got hot women and they've got the Aurora Borealis. That's all I know about them.
What's that, Norway?
No, Reykjavik. Isn't that Iceland?
Iceland, yeah, Reykjavik.
Yeah. They fucking go off for New Year's Eve. It's supposed to be like the greatest New Year's Eve party of all time.
Or we could fucking try to get our hands on that space laser that the Jews have. Because then,
love to have
I mean, you don't even need money at that point. Like somebody's like, "Hey, you owe us $20." You're like, "Oh yeah, space laser.
Yeah.
So
Look, I don't think
fuck
we're
yourself.
far. I don't think we're far from access to it.
if anybody would have it, it would certainly be the Jews. No,
Yeah,
that doesn't
yeah.
even make sense.
Yeah, no.
That
Who
was
came up with that, by the
That
way?
was Marjorie. I don't know who came up with it, but the only time I've ever heard it said by a human being was Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Okay.
Said something about space laser Jew stuff or something.
They were
seems
starting
normal.
forest fires.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's that. At least that's somewhat scientific. Like that's possible that could happen. Gay people being responsible for floods is not even possible.
No.
Not that unless there's some part of physics that I'm not aware of that involves buttholes.
Yeah.
Physics of gay buttholes, and it's like just floods.
Where is
and
the Marjorie
hurricanes.
Taylor chick out of? Where is she out of? What state is that?
Georgia.
Yeah, she's
She's
from
North
my state.
Georgia.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wonder what city or district.
How crazy is
What
it?
if it's mine?
She got elected in the same year that a Democrat won that state.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
That's crazy, man. That's
Man.
crazy.
Like who? There's like 12 people in that city. There can't be that.
There
many
can't
people.
be. Yeah. What's her district?
So her district is it's right outside of Atlanta.
Is it really? What
It's a weird. I'll pull it up on the screen
Yeah.
first, but in a sec. But
Who ran against her? O.J. Simpson.
yeah, her district brushes up against Marietta and
Oh, shit.
20.
So it's like the north.
we played all them in high school.
Yeah, I-20 in the south. It goes up to Rome and I can't.
Rome, R-O-M-E.
Rome, yeah, Rome.
Yeah,
sorry.
Rome, Georgia. Yep.
And it goes all the way up to the border with Tennessee, all the way up to like Fort Oglethorpe and shit.
I wonder where. Can you track down the origin of that story? Because obviously she's crazy and shit, but it had to come from somewhere.
Somebody
was talking about.
Somebody had to
because like Jewish space lasers. But that doesn't even make any fucking sense.
No.
We're the ones that started the Star Wars program. Israel, did they even have fucking like satellites in space, or are they just using our shit?
I think they're just using our shit. We're paying for it in the Iron
Yeah.
Dome and all that other
So-
stuff.
I don't know. I mean, look, but at least again, that's an explanation.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look, I've heard, from my sources on the internet. Now she's a congressperson. She's just people actually will believe her.
Yeah.
God damn it! I fucking hate this country.
Is she going to be a cited source then on Google, on the Google machine?
I guess, yeah. Maybe she should just start her own. It's called fucking Marjorie Taylor Greenpedia or some shit.
Yeah. Because we're here. So, fuck, man. Let's do it. Also, I want to talk about, last but not least here, Shatner's going to space next week. What time do we do the live watch for that?
Well, he's gonna die
He's 90.
for sure.
He's not- the old lady made it, though.
How much G-force does it? I mean,
This is exactly what I asked this morning,
I
and
think
I
you
don't have an
have
answer
to.
for
I
it.
think you have to be traveling 25,000 miles per hour to exit the Earth's atmosphere entirely. But I think they just go into low Earth orbit, right? They don't go entirely. They're not going to the fucking moon or something like
They're
that.
just a tip.
It's just a tip, right?
Yeah.
That's
He's
it.
not going up in like a shuttle. He's just going to send like Jesus into the sky.
But you still have to go through all that G-force, right? Like that's
Some of it, but not quite as much to exit. Like if you're trying to exit Earth's gravitational pull, I think you have to be going about 25,000 miles per hour.
Yeah, I think it's the G. I think I could be wrong with this, but I think G-force is worse. Like it's if you're changing directions type of thing. You know what I mean? Like how a pilot like blacks out if he pulls the plane too hard or whatever. Whereas if you're just going straight up, I don't think it's this big of a deal.
Is G-force similar to G-status?
Stop, Giorgio! I swear to God, I'll fucking stab you.
Giorgio all day has been on the verge of
Getting stabbed.
Yeah, getting stabbed.
Which is not anything out of the ordinary.
and it's not
really.
different than any other day. It's just a lot quicker.
Who's taking Shatner up there?
So it's Bezos.
Oh man,
He's going up in the cock rocket.
No, Scotty's beaming him up.
Oh boy, there it is. Again, end that feed for Giorgio for
Yeah.
the rest of the day.
yeah.
Take away his edibles.
I
It
feel
was-
that's not bad though. I mean, it's kind of pathetic on Bezos. I understand now why Elon Musk is trolling him a little bit lately, because that's kind of sad. Like you couldn't be the first or the best to do it, so you're just going to take up fucking William Shatner.
Yeah.
That's like Hardee's getting fucking Paris Hilton to dance all over the front of their car eating a burger because everybody knew that burger tasted like shit.
It works.
bored.
Yeah, dude. It works. And like, let's face it, that's a free trip for Shatner. He's not paying for that. You know, you're taking the guy from Star Trek up into the stars.
Right.
There's going to be a ton of press behind that.
Well, why isn't he? Why is he taking the white guy from Star Trek up into the stars, Jeff Bezos? Why aren't you taking that gay Japanese dude, George Takei?
I think he got caught touching boys.
Oh well, that's
I
not
think
surprising.
so. Yeah, I know, not shocked at all.
Yeah, but there's other ethnics in space, right? Not a lot of Puerto Ricans, but there's like Asians.
Yeah. Well,
if you look through all the space shows, how many Mexicans and Puerto Ricans have you seen in space shows over the years? Isn't that shouldn't you guys be offended by that? What is fucking Hightower's killed himself already because the Cowboys won again and he knows it's coming to an end soon.
I appreciate this Tracy Jordan bit, by the way.
Yeah, seriously, there's no Puerto Ricans in space.
Yeah.
Dude, I got a funny story about it. There was a script I read. It never got made, but it was Jon Favreau, the writer of Swingers, obviously the writer star of Swingers, and director of all the Iron Mans and all that shit. He wrote a script called From Guam to the Moon, and it was about launching all these people from Guam to the moon, but they needed like one American guy how to teach them how to do it. And I think it was supposed to be like Owen Wilson or Vince Vaughn that was going to be the American guy. It was a really fucking funny script, but I think the studio thought it was a little too racist.
You can't even make a movie now where Ryan Gosling plants the American flag on the moon, bitch.
No.
And you can't,
No.
there still aren't Mexicans in space.
No.
Space is canceled. Moving forward. That's got to be a lot of pressure. Somebody, who is it, Taylor Press brought up Billy D. Williams. That had to be a lot of pressure being the only black dude in all of space.
Oh,
For like 40 years.
There was a black chick in Star Trek, but I think she's dead, right?
Oh, yeah, in the original Star Trek. Yeah,
So you can't get her up there.
Yeah.
Get Zoe Saldana now.
No, the original.
Yeah, I know. You have to settle.
Oh, you
Zoe.
want Zoe to take her place in solidarity of like a
Taylor Press.
She plays Uhura.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Taylor Press said MLK was a Trekkie, and I'm not sure if that's a joke or real.
I think
Is it real? When did that movie?
Google that.
That show came out in the late 50s or some shit.
Yeah.
Right?
The number one thing on Time magazine, why Martin Luther King Jr. loved Star Trek.
Came out in '66.
shit.
What year did he get killed?
He got killed in 68. Yeah.
So he had time. He
April
had time.
4th.
I mean, it wasn't streaming or anything, so he had to catch it when it was on.
Yeah.
It was the only show he let his kids stay up late to watch.
Well, that's because he was out dropping loads in teenagers, right? Let's be real about that. But anyways, I'm not the one that fucking did it. Just reporting the news, folks. It would be funny if Captain Kirk did something weird in space up there, like fucking he just yelled Khan as loud as he could. That would be great. Or if he, he's 90, so shit in his pants, maybe. I don't know.
But do you realize how many Beam Me Up Scotty jokes we're gonna have to hear next week when this goes down?
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's gonna turn into a national holiday, especially if the ship blows up.
Yeah, is there? Which it might. Who knows? If it does with Shatner in it, that's full 2020. So here's what we need, full 2021 for this. We need Dog the Bounty Hunter to find Laundries, or Loundries, however we're pronouncing that guy's last name. And then we need Shatner to die in the cock rocket.
What if Laundry takes out Dog?
Then he becomes Dog the Bounty Hunter. It's like fucking Highlander or something, where he assumes all his power.
Is the government even allowed to press charges at that
He
point?
immediately grows the hair out.
I say it'd be more like the Santa Claus.
Yeah,
He kills Dog the Bounty Hunter and then just morphs into Dog
Seriously,
the Bounty
imagine that scene. Like the FBI pulls up and he's got Dog the Bounty Hunter on his knees with a gun to his back, and he just shoots him in the back of the head, and all of a sudden he grows the hair out, and the fucking glasses come out of nowhere, and they start trying to take the glasses off, but behind every pair of glasses is another pair of glasses. They're like, "What the fuck?" And then he goes free. R.I.P. lady.
And
Nobody even remembers her goddamn name now.
No, dude. And they just say, he just pops out and he goes, "Aloha, brother. I don't want this. I don't want this." You know? Classic Dog style. God damn it. I hope that goes down.
I feel like you could probably check Dog the Bounty Hunter's pockets at any given time, and there's about an 85% chance there's crystal meth in one of them. Depending on how many pockets he has.
The beauty of it is, he did say they are getting close. He said
I
Brian
found
is
this
getting
monster
tired.
can. It's like fucking he's reporting his findings now like a guy that's chasing Bigfoot in the woods. Oh, we found some dry. That's going to be the next scene. He's going to be on a CNN with a pile of human shit in his hand.
I hope, dude.
Oh, it smells like laundry.
I fucking hope, dude.
Jesus Christ.
God damn, that'd be real quick here, Bob, before we get off the air. Do we have one final update on Dog the Bounty Hunter at Laundries for the day? Because obviously we're expecting him to be caught very soon by Dog the Bounty Hunter. Could you find out what the latest is from Dog today? Because he's been releasing statements. I read the last one on TMZ yesterday.
So on October 2nd, Dog the Bounty Hunter announced he was moving his search for Brian Laundrie to the Appalachian Trail after multiple sightings in Boone, North Carolina. So he definitely wasn't on the island that dog was flying a plane
No,
around.
he swam back. He swam back for sure. Eric Rudolph was in the Appalachian Trail for fucking 4 years or 8 years or some shit after he blew up those abortion clinics.
Yep.
The
He was there for a long time.
I think the only reason they found him is because he got bored.
That's
to
what I
be
think too.
honest. Like they were never going to find that guy.
And by the way, so Boone, North Carolina, that is home of Appalachian State. It is also, there's one ski lift there and you can snowboard and all that shit on the mountain. But the rest of it, so there's a lot of cabins there that go like unused. So you could cabin hop for sure for a very long time because people don't use that shit in the summer there.
Somebody actually, I was Zarina, maybe that's how you say that name. Chuck Norris and Steven Seagal joined the hunt. What if Chuck Norris did come in and find the guy? That would be such a huge embarrassment.
Oh yeah, for Dog. Yeah.
Dog would have to fucking surrender his mullet.
Yeah.
Right. I think there's a group of these guys, these old white dudes that have mullets, and he would have to give his mullet up. Like you lose if you fail that epically to one of the other guys, you lose your mullet. It's the mullet Highlander.
Or Brian takes out all three.
Yeah, it's the mullet Highlander, and every time you defeat somebody that has a mullet, your mullet gets better. Right?
I think when this all ends, it's a mullet for me. You won't be able to see it on social media, but if you see me in real life, you'll be like, holy shit.
I want to make the show Mullet Highlander.
Oh, it'd be fucking dope, dude. I'm all in. You can have everything in my bank account. Now's the point of the show. We get to the Drinkin' Bro of the week. You can submit on your own at drinkinbros.com along with get the sweet merch. We've got new hats. Boom. We got the Flex Fits, the $40 hats here. We got American Party hat. We got everything. T-shirts. Dan and I are both wearing these. Those are all available. Shout out to 85 Supply. We were just there last week in Nashville, our supplier, and they've been crushing it. So thank you very much. But up there on drinkinbros.com, there's a little submission tag. You just pop that open and submit it. Nothing else to do there. And it just comes directly to our email. If we get behind because of a guest or something, then it's like, all right, great. We'll just draw one at random. This one is Nick Erskine from California. Says he's a day one homie. He's been listening.
Not Erskine?
Some say Erskine. Some say Erskine, you know?
Okay.
Erskine.
Okay, let's move it along.
No. If I fucked up his name, I really want to drag it
Andrew
out.
Ball, yeah, Dog is a Dothraki now. It's Dog Thraki. And every time he fucking murders somebody, he gets a better mullet. I'm telling you, somebody go kill Dog the Bounty Hunter right now and see what your mullet looks like tomorrow.
Guarantee it'll be better than today.
I am a goddamn scientist. Do not challenge me on this.
So Nick is nominating. He's nominating himself.
What a cunt.
That's why I had this all figured out. He goes, so reason for the nomination, he says, because I'll get your tweet tat, but I'll also need you assholes to autograph tattoo it below as well. Cheers. Yes, dude, the Hillary Clinton tattoo is in effect. We're trying to figure out plans for this weekend, and then we have Krager's weekend the weekend afterwards. So that's why we have not reached out about the tattoo, but it is on. We will do it with you guys for sure. And I know Walter's in on that as well. Last Row Lopez is asked to be thrown into the running too. I'm not sure how much we want to damage that beautiful physique of his.
I don't know how much more damage you can do to it.
No, me neither. He was walking that girl on a fucking. There was a girl walking on a leash on a yacht this weekend. He'll be at the Oklahoma-Texas game, the Red River Shootout, by the way, on Saturday. So
that's probably here, right?
Pop on out. It is.
It's in Dallas.
Yeah, it's at the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah,
it's at the Cotton Bowl. So you can pop out there and see him. Submit online at drinkinbros.com while you're there. Feel free to grab some merch. The proceeds go to us and no one else because we're greedy little whores, and that's what we do. Fun show today, Dan. We'll see if Shatner lives or dies, and then probably by tomorrow, Dog will have an update of where Brian is, and we look forward to that. Don't forget to go to iTunes, rate the show 5-star, and leave a quick review. Look, we've been on top of the charts in the top 100 for 6 years. It is all because of you guys and all because of that. And I think we're hovering somewhere around 30 or 40 in the world. So we appreciate it. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros podcast. Good night, everyone.